fo la ñi mero ñi e bari ñi mero mala juma la mo monti atara mantra bala fa mo kono parce que mbele firin halalo la andu mbele filan ndingol ye balu halalo la andu mbele filan to ma fanan yenje je nyama je nyami ya lonko kariye ñine ke mbato ngakata fo fana ngatambal mbele firin wala doliye na ye tambintela.
The food processing industry, which is likely to be the first and primary beneficiary of the incubation center, and more specifically in the area of processing machines, is dominated by women. And naturally, as the project grows and expands, and we are less challenged by the availability of resources, we will extend the capacity of the incubation center to include more activities in other sectors dominated by women. And this is not really by accident, but by design, because women, I don't have to make a case for them. They have already made a case for themselves.
Okay, import, export, women are already in it, and young women among them. Fashion designing. We have the AGO program, we can take advantage of it, only if we add a local content to whatever we export. So that's another area we can take advantage of, really, the informal sector. There's a lot, like small-scale industries. So this is where maybe if GAM Jobs expands in the future, it can look at that as well.
Women are underemployed. We want to give them the required skills, the required know-how. You would see that a lot of entrepreneurship studies or training have been conducted for women mainly, and the youths as well, of course, those that come through GAM Jobs. So we want to equip them beyond the project life of GAM Jobs.
Whatever we earn, we add it to whatever our husbands earn and invest back in the family. So if you invest in those women, you help create employment or improve their employment opportunities or skills. That means they earn more. Then obviously education will be addressed. The health status of families will be improved. And also all other issues of, for example, gender-based violence and peace and security will come up automatically.
If you say women, obviously, encompasses or includes some young people, because some young people are women. And, of course, that includes them. Now, even in the exclusion of that, young or women are the people that, more often than not take care of these young people. More often than not, you realize that it is the women that kind of care even for the young people more. Young people are even closer to the women, and that is why if the women are empowered, if the women are given the skill, the knowledge, it will kind of trickle down to the young people. And eventually the young people will benefit. And that is why empowering women, indeed is in the same line. If you empower women, I am convinced that you indirectly empowering young people.
It's the women who are the custodians of our culture, our life, the way we live in our communities. So there is no way that we can take tourism to the communities without involving the women. They are the basic. They are the custodians of our youth. They are the custodians of our culture, our history, our traditions. They are the ones that actually pass it from one generation to another.
Let's just allow our children to be whatever they want to be. Really, that's what I feel. But sometimes also this caste system affects us. Yes, say you cannot be this, or otherwise you'll be a blacksmith, or you cannot be that, otherwise you'll be a leather worker. I mean, industry is all about leather and iron and so on. No, that's the reality. So we have to look at our socio-cultural setup as well, and encourage our young people to take on these opportunities that the government has to offer.
It has a lot of potential, and what we are calling for now is for partners who are involved in poverty reduction to see the importance of strengthening the youth sector and arming them with livelihoods to build a nation.
The parameters for a successful GAM Jobs intervention would be, for instance, somebody we've trained, we want to see that person qualify from that training program and then get established in that field of activity that he's been trained in, and of course start to work in that field, getting his livelihoods from it, whether it's under a scheme, whether he's self-employed
whether he's employed, but the basic thing is for him to be active and, of course, work to provide for himself, his family, and lead a better life, and, of course, contribute to national development.
GAM jobs, as we stand, it's coming to an end 2011. But even though the government of the Gambia contributed $100,000 by the time it was equivalent to $2.8 million, and the UNDP in Banjul also contributed over the program period of $500,000 over the program period. We were lucky to also have our friends, the Spanish government, to contribute $2.8 million into the program. Overall, what we mobilized was not sufficient to cover all the programs envisaged at the inception of the program. Initially, of course, we had a gap, funding gap, when we started, and we continued to pursue other avenues to mobilize more resources. We were only able to attract funding from, secure funding, sorry, from the Spanish authorities. That is the $2.8 million.
So I would expect multilateral agencies such as the World Bank, the IMF, you know, and all the other international agencies, the ADB, a host of them, the IDB. We have all this, I mean, even the UN system in other areas, such as UNIDO and so on, to come on board and complement the efforts of GAM jobs and help us move our development forward.
The Spanish have been giving a lot of funds into this. We hope that other institutions, the ILO, the UNDP, in as much as these are institutions that have always been the bedrock of GAM jobs, but they also upload and increase the resource mobilization and resource intervention for GAM jobs. This will become critical for after post-2011 GAM jobs.
When the youth succeed, it's us who've succeeded. And it is the Gambia that has succeeded because we will be eliminating poverty and we will be empowering these young men and women to stand on their 2 feet, not to be spoon-fed and not to wait for people to do things for them. They need to take their destiny in their hands, and this is what we're expecting and we hope to achieve.
Leadership is a contract. People vote for you because they expect you to stand for them and improve their living conditions. How can I satisfy every Gambian? Left to me alone, if I had the power to make sure that no Gambian becomes sick or goes hungry or is poor, I would have given it to every Gambian, irrespective of whether they like me or not. That's my wish for the Gambian.